refugees have been called many things. Callous, greedy, country shopping terrorists, and also innocent, persecuted, peace-loving victims. But did you know that they are also people? Yes, that's right. Contrary to popular belief, refugees aren't just some singular homogenous blob, but are in fact individual people with individual stories and issues. You see, the problem with today's discussion around refugees and migration is that it's so polarised and emotional, even Donald Trump's solutions are being taken seriously. I mean, just think about that. And then watch this.
So I had a relatively small piece of the company, and what happened is Philadelphia...
Wait a second, you were chairman of the board.
Excuse me.
You were chairman of the board.
I was chairman, but I didn't run the company. I had nothing to do with running the company. Management ran the company.
You were paid $2 million a year.
Excuse me. I didn't run the company. I'm just telling you.
So what were you paid $2 million a year for?
Excuse me. Because of my genius, okay?
Deep stuff. Joining me now is Johnny from New Zealand. And Johnny, what's the mood on refugees like there at the moment?
Well, yeah, no. I think New Zealand's pretty much accepting of the refugees, eh? But we don't see too many of them.
And why is that?
Australia, they just lumped them on this big giant tropical island before they even get a chance to get here, eh?
I see. So your country is pressuring Australia then to maybe take a bit more of a humane approach?
Well, no. Yeah, if they came here, then they'd just start bloody ruining everything, wouldn't they? Useless.
Louise, what's the mood like in Canada where you are now?
I'm happy to say that in Canada, there's finally a mature decision about how to assist, and we're flying in thousands of Syrians caught up in the violence.
That's excellent. And now that the Saudi regime has declared that they'll be sending troops into Syria, will the Canadian government be halting its $15 billion arms deal?
I'm sorry?
Well, obviously this means that Canada's weapons will now end up being used to kill and displace Syrian civilians, creating more refugees and further inflaming the problem. And this isn't even mentioning the fact that the Saudi regime is a brutal oppressor of human rights.
Wait, Canada makes weapons?
Mons, what's the feeling here in Sweden on the refugee situation?
Well, I think we've been real generous actually. When the war first broke out in Syria and refugees tried to come to Europe, Sweden overwhelmingly opened its borders to help them in their time of need.
That's very interesting. But I noticed that when I came into Sweden, I had to pass through 2 identification checkpoints. Why would Sweden be closing its borders when you're trying to welcome in refugees?
Oh, you see, when we opened our borders, people actually started coming here. And that was just too unexpected. We couldn't cope with it.
Right. So, as you can see, the refugee debate has many contradictions. But we here at Bye Bye Borders want to highlight some of the more ridiculous, stupid and downright hostile arguments made by those in positions of power and influence. Those who peddle nothing but mistruths and hysteria about a very complex issue. But if this frustrates the hell out of you too, then join us in the ridicule. Head over to the contribute section at byebyeborders.com for more details. Be sure to read our community standards though, because we don't really host hate mail. Until next time, cheers. Oh, that's smooth.